All right, let's do a weekend analysis of the markets, indices markets. We've had a hell of a week. They are all markets are correlating. And when I say all markets, I usually focus on FTSE, Germany, Wall Street, Italy, Spain, and also Japan. Those are the ones I like to have a look at, but the three I focus on are the three that I zero in on are FTSE, Germany, and Wall Street. Now, what I'm seeing here is we've had two swings down on the daily. This secondary swing is a lot more powerful than this first swing, in that it went further. It's longer essentially, which to me tells me that there'll be at least one more swing down. Now there's this line here. I have it because it's an SNR. Let's go to the weekly. Normally during the weekend I like to look at the weekly and also daily just to get a higher time frame point of view, to see what the big players are up to. And what I'm seeing here on the weekly is quite interesting, in that this area in the past has held, as in whenever sellers have come down, buyers have taken a buy, and here they got more desperate as they went higher, with sellers then crashing it down. And all those buyers who bought at this level the last time, and also those that got not such a great price, like around about here, let's say, when prices came down here, they jumped on it and pushed it back up. And we saw a similar thing around about here, where buyers desperately, those who missed out on this price, they took it from this price and took it upwards before sellers came crashing down. But I'm seeing here, so we have this high here, and even though buyers were able to take it up, they've progressively made lower highs. All right, so all of this, all lower highs, and to me that is an indication. That is an indication that when buyers push up again, they're unlikely to reach this level. It will possibly fade out around the 7,200, maybe 7,400. That's the weekly view. Let's go down a time frame, and we see here with this two swings down, with this secondary swing being more powerful than this first swing, there's a question of, one, are the sellers going to fade out here? And two, are buyers going to come in at this level, similar to how they've done in the past? So let's say here, for example, when sellers came down, buyers were quick to jump on it and push it back up. Are we going to see a similar thing? At this level, let's go down a time frame. Normally during the weekday I'll look at the 4 hourly and 1 hourly, but weekend I like to look at 4 time frames, just to get that overview, get an understanding of get an overview of the story that's happening from the universe above, in this case the universe being weekly and daily. So now on the 4 hourly, we have this push down, this push down, this push down, this push down. This last push down, I'm not sure whether it's ended just yet. I need more data to say that it's ended. Reason being is this could, so this ended here. That's where the story ends so far. But it could have ended here because of the market's closing. Or it could be a case that the buyers are here, and when markets open on Monday, they're going to push up. I don't know which is which just yet. I need more data in order to say for sure. What I do know, in fact, let me backtrack. So let's say this push down. We know this push down ended because of the retracement, right? We know this push down ended because of this retracement. This move down, it could have ended here, or it could have just paused and is ready to go down when the markets open on Monday. So what I am thinking is, at the same time, this kind of looks like it's slowing down, right? So this was a big push down, and then this, the sellers were quite hesitantly taking it down. It's almost as though they knew, because buyers are here, they're hesitant to. This leg didn't come down with confidence. Comparing this leg to the previous leg, it was quite hesitantly. It's almost as though sellers were taking their profits very early on in anticipation of buyers coming in, because we know they're here. When buyers came in, they made an attempt here, but they didn't come in with conviction. If they were really strong, they wouldn't have stopped here. They would have pushed through, because the last sellers that came down with strength is this guy right here. It's this guy, and actually also this guy who pushed it down. So these guys came down with more power than these guys. And when buyers came up, they weren't able to take out this S&R area, which is interesting, because it doesn't look as though sellers are strong at this area. I would have thought if buyers really were keen to take this up, they would have taken it up to this level, or want to take it up to this level, if they have strength at this area here. Let's go down to one more time frame. I want to have a look at this, and also, let me do that better. This push down and also this push down versus this push up, and anticipate how buyers are going to respond here. I think they'll definitely respond. Okay. The question is how. Okay. How will they respond? Okay, so we have this push down, that push down versus this push up. It could have said buyers were strong. And I think, in fact, this push up was due to a news announcement. I think it was the Bank of England stepping in and stopping sellers from, stepping in and giving more confidence in the market. But if buyers were really confident, surely sellers, when they came down, wouldn't have come down with this strength. You see, if you compare this push down versus this push up, let's push up. it looks as though they have equal strength. If anything, the sellers were just about stronger than the buyers. But then, if they really were strong, why stop here? And in fact, the last time that they pushed down was here, and in a very weak manner. So actually on this time frame, the last strength of the sellers was here. Buyers, we've seen hints that they are here. We've seen hints here as well as here, but they don't seem to have come in with conviction just yet. We need to see I want to see how they respond when markets open. Because looking at this, I can give a read saying, okay, sellers are weak, and that looks as though they're fading, but we need more data. We need to see buyers come in so that we can compare this leg down versus this leg up. Because I think this is an area that prices could turn. I think prices could turn at this area, as in buyers could rally. But it might be a bit too early to say for sure. We need to see how buyers respond at least one more time. We've seen hints of it. So they did push up here, but that wasn't really with conviction. I want to see how they respond at least one more time in order to say for sure whether, or in order to say with more confidence whether markets are going to turn. We need two things. We need to see the sellers fade, which we're seeing, because this push is weaker than this push. That's number one. Number two, we need to see buyers come in. Now, if they, and how they come in. We need to see them come in, the way they come in, and we need to see them come in, and we also need to see how they come in. So if they come with power and take out this level, because this is a small SNR with this guy starting the push down. So if buyers are able to push it up, I would then suggest that we need one more thing, which will be giving sellers one last chance to see how they respond to these buyers. So when buyers come in, I want to see how these guys come in, and also how the sellers at this level respond to these guys coming in. If they respond in a manner that's similar to this push down, so if they do something like this, they make a move down that doesn't meet this level or reach this level or go below it, we know that we can say then with more conviction that, okay, sellers have faded and also buyers are here, which will mean when buyers respond again, they're going to respond with power to break this level and at least go up to this level to challenge this guy. Because this guy is the last sellers with power. These guys didn't push it down with power. These guys did. So when buyers come in, they should be able to break this level. And the level they will really want to go up to challenge is this level, the 7050 level, to challenge the sellers. If they're able to push up past that level and hold, it will mean we're going up. Now let's backtrack to the 4-hourly. Those areas I mentioned on the hourly are here, this level. So we see it on this time frame. It's actually a clearer SNR on this time frame, and also this level, these sellers here who pushed it down. So the last sellers with strength, it's actually not this guy, it's this guy. They pushed it down with strength. This guy technically is a leg down as well, which is shorter than this leg down, but it didn't go down with conviction. So I think when the buyers come in, the ultimate level for the buyers is this SNR level. But firstly, what I would want to see is that they break this area, which I think should be easy for them to do if they are going to come in at this level. So I think going into the week, what I would want to see is that this is rolling over and buyers are going to take over. One thing I want to see is a confirmation that sellers are unable to make a lower low. Another sign, another signal, is that buyers have come in. I want to give sellers one more chance to attempt to make a lower low, and want to see how buyers respond to this move down. And if they're able to push upwards past this area, the area that will be an SNR, the first stronghold SNR for them will be this level. And at this level, again, we'll want to see how sellers, i.e. this guy, responds. If they come down, are unable to make, once again, unable to make a lower low rather, we will then be on our way upwards to at least challenge this guy, if not go further. Because then all of this will essentially be several signs which are market turning signs. A higher low to this low and a higher high. Let me clear this up a bit. To say that we're turning, we need two things: higher low. Let me draw that better. Higher low to that low, and also higher high. Now the higher high on this time frame, in fact, let me backtrack. The last high is this guy, right? You could technically say this guy was the last high and this is a lower high. Yes. However, on this time frame, because these two are so close together, I think it's better to use the more extreme level. And the more extreme level in this case is actually here, because this is the stronger SNR, with this guy being the one who started the push down, which will mean the higher high on this time frame will be when buyers push past this level. We can then say, okay, we have a higher low confirmed against this low, and we have a higher high confirmed against this current high, which will mean we're going upwards. once we have these two things, first with this, secondly with this, we can say, okay, buyers are absolutely here and they're going upwards, and I think this guy will be broken. This level will be broken. And if we were to go back to the daily, it would correspond with what I said earlier, as in we have this push down and also this push down. We're going to have a third push down because this secondary push is stronger than this first push. But in order to have this push down confirmed as a push that ends here, we need buyers to come in, just like what we had here. So we only know this is a push down confirmed because of this push up. We know this is a push down, but we don't yet know it's going to end here. We can anticipate that it's going to end here, but until we have that push up, we don't know this is going to end here. Because when markets open, it could push down even more. I doubt it, because what I'm seeing is signs of sellers fading and buyers potentially stepping in, but we won't know until it actually happens. So with what I just mentioned on the with what I just mentioned on the hourly and 4 hourly, if we were to see buyers come in, they're very likely to come into the SNR on this time frame. And on this time frame, the SNR is up here-ish. Maybe here. With this guy starting the push down, you could potentially say this guy. Ultimately, this push down was started by this guy. The SNR is round about here, like the 7150 level to 7200 level. So I think when prices come up, they're going to come up to this level before the sellers push it down at least one more time, potentially making a lower low, going low. There's a chance that when buyers come in, they go past the 7200 level, because all of these points, all of these spikes could be areas where sellers respond from, with the ultimate area being here, because this is where the sellers last responded with power, right? So these same sellers that pushed this first leg down made this second leg down, and when if prices were to come up to this level again, they're going to make another push down. But with SNR being here, let me clear this up a bit. With SNR being here, prices are unlikely to come up to this level again, to this range again. It's more likely the prices will come up to here and then bounce off of it, which, if we look at the weekly, will again correspond with what we're seeing here, in that we're having lower highs. One moment, let me pause this very quickly. All right, let's have a look at other markets very quickly. So everything's correlating, so I think we're pretty much going to see the same story, which I'm seeing here. Push down, push down, push down, with this one not having ended just yet. Again, we're seeing signs of of buyers coming in. Let's quickly have a look at Wall Street. Oh, okay, this is interesting. These guys have actually made a lower low to this area. Well, potentially. I say potentially because Wall Street and Germany move a lot more aggressive. It's interesting. All these markets have personalities. FTSE moves in a more gentleman British type of manner, whereas Germany and Wall Street tend to be a lot more aggressive. And what I'm seeing here on this time frame, on this market, is a potential triangle. We have higher lows and lower highs, which eventually is going to break through. I notice on Wall Street, Wall Street is an odd one because we have this triangle which pretty much just fell off. Normally, in order to have a squeeze, we see something more akin to this before the break. Whereas this squeeze is almost as though it didn't happen, as though it's not a squeeze, it just kind of fell off. Which makes me wonder whether this low is real or not. What I mean by that is, are we going to see when markets open and buyers come in, that on this market they come in with force, making this low almost as though it didn't happen? Which is a possibility, because in order for buyers to buy, they need sellers, and this will be a great set of sellers for buyers to buy from, potentially, because all other markets, let's go back to FTSE. Let's quickly have a look at the others. All of the markets are showing just about if they made a low, they just about made a low. A lower low, I should say. Whereas Wall Street seemed to have made, it's like this is a new leg that's coming down, but we don't yet know because markets ended here. So we need more data to see whether or not this leg is going to go down even lower, or buyers are indeed going to come in again at this level-ish. Which is a possibility. Another possibility is that, not to confuse things even more, but another possibility is that this secondary leg, this leg right here, is not going to end at this level. Now on FTSE, we're seeing that it's slowing down on this level, but it could just be a pause before further move down. Looking at FTSE, I think buyers are due for a rally, and I think they're due at this level. It's clearer on FTSE. Although other markets are correlate, all markets are correlating. I think it's clearer on FTSE, and also I have to take into account that other markets move a lot more aggressively, particularly Wall Street and Germany. So while FTSE does its move upwards, Wall Street might do it a lot more sharply. As well as Germany. But again, that is if buyers are going to come in. Judging by FTSE, I think there's a high likelihood that they're going to come in at this level. But again, we need markets to open on Monday to see how the buyers respond. Yeah, I normally look at the three markets: FTSE, Germany, Wall Street. I think FTSE is my favorite, just because I like the gentleman-like move of FTSE. But Wall Street and Germany are really nice to look at in terms of their personalities. And I also look at the three of them, as well as Italy, Spain, and Japan, just for correlation. The others, you could potentially also look at them, but then for me it becomes too much. I like to just focus on these six that I mentioned. So I think going into the week, I'm going to keep a close eye on the markets, and I'll have a video daily. I think around about 5:30 when the markets close for in the UK. And those videos I think will be a lot shorter than these weekend ones, and I'll focus on the hourly and 4-hourly for daily reviews. And then over the weekend I'll add in the other two time frames, daily and weekly, just to get a broader perspective on things. And I want to follow the story of Indices markets, because I really like the way they move, especially FTSE. I think things are bound to change for this week, but if they do, I don't think they'll go past the 7200-ish area, so right about there, because ultimately, if this leg hasn't ended here and buyers come in, we're going to have at least one more leg down. And I think the leg down is going to go lower than this level. If it comes up to this level, there's a chance that it just holds here and drops. So we have something like that and drops. So I think a retracement is more likely for this week. There is a chance that this doesn't retrace much and just continues to go down. But I think buyers are going to respond here. For all the reasons I just mentioned, I think buyers are going to rally this week. But I don't think they'll do much. I think things are going to go down even more before they go back up, at least to challenge this guy. When buyers come in, I don't think they'll have the strength. They're not going to come in to do that. I think it's more likely to be something like that, and then a push down. But we'll see. I'll keep an eye on things over the week and have videos during the week, and again with weekend I'll do a more thorough analysis I think during the week I'll stick with just the three markets: FTSE Germany and Wall Street, and focus on those two time frames I mentioned, hourly and 4 hourly, and then leave the other time frames for weekend view. All right, I'll leave it there for now. Bye for now.